Did you know that slugs and snails cause an estimated $1 billion in crop damage each year? These slimy invaders with their insatiable appetite are drawn to a variety of plants, from vegetables to ornamental flowers. In the cover of night, they can lay waste to your cherished garden, leaving behind a trail of destruction. It's a hidden battle, one that requires strategic planning and swift action. It's time to declare war on these slimy invaders. Are you ready? To win any battle, you need to understand your enemy. And in this case, our enemies are the slimy, garden-destroying slugs and snails. These gastropods, members of the mollusk family, have a knack for turning a thriving garden into a wasteland. Let's start with their life cycle. Slugs and snails are hermaphrodites, meaning each individual has both male and female reproductive organs. This makes their reproduction highly efficient, as any two can mate and lay hundreds of eggs. These eggs, barely visible to the naked eye, are often hidden in moist, shady areas of the garden, waiting to hatch and unleash a new generation of plant-munching pests. Their feeding habits further explain why they're attracted to our gardens. Slugs and snails are primarily herbivores, feeding on a variety of plants, leaves, and fruits. They're particularly fond of tender young plants and succulent leaves. Their appetites are relentless, and they can decimate a garden overnight, leaving a telltale trail of slime in their wake. As for the conditions they thrive in, slugs and snails prefer cool, moist environments. They're most active at night or on overcast, rainy days when the ground is wet. During the dry, hot hours of the day, they seek refuge in cool, damp areas, hiding under rocks, garden debris, or in the dense foliage of plants. But it's not just about the weather. Slugs and snails are also attracted to gardens with plenty of hiding places. Think dense plantings, piles of leaves, or stacks of firewood. They're less likely to inhabit open, sunny areas with sparse vegetation. Understanding these habits and preferences of slugs and snails is the first step in managing them. It's about knowing where they lay their eggs, what they feed on, when they're most active, and where they hide when conditions aren't favorable. This knowledge allows us to recognize the signs of their presence and to take action before they wreak havoc in our gardens. Now that we know our enemy, we can devise an effective battle plan. Mother Nature has provided us with some of the best weapons against slugs and snails. Now let's dive right into the world of natural deterrents that can give your garden the upper hand in this slimy battle. Firstly, certain plants have an aversion effect on our mollusk foes. These include plants with robust, prickly foliage like geraniums and lavender, or those with strong scents such as fennel and rosemary. Planting these in your garden can create a natural barrier that slugs and snails would rather not cross. Now, if we delve deeper into the animal kingdom, we find some unlikely allies. Birds, frogs, and beetles are just a few examples of nature's pest control. These creatures feast on slugs and snails, keeping their populations in check. Encouraging such wildlife in your garden can be as simple as providing a bird feeder or a small pond for frogs. But what about barriers? Slugs and snails are not fans of rough terrain. Materials like crushed eggshells, gravel, and wood ash can create a defensive line that they find difficult to cross. These materials can be easily spread around your plants to provide a protective shield. And then, there's copper. This seemingly harmless metal has a surprising effect on slugs and snails. When they come into contact with copper, it generates a kind of electrical reaction that they find highly unpleasant. So, wrapping copper tape around your plant pots or raised beds can act as a potent deterrent. Natural deterrents offer a kinder, gentler approach to slug and snail control, appealing to those who prefer not to resort to harsh chemicals or direct killing methods. They create a garden environment that is inherently hostile to these pests, but inviting to other beneficial wildlife. However, we've all had those particularly stubborn invaders that simply won't take the hint. That's where we need to bring in the heavy artillery. But what if natural deterrents aren't enough? That's where our next line of defense comes in. Sometimes you need to bring in the big guns to win the fight against slugs and snails. Let's delve into the world of advanced battle tactics. There are times when natural deterrents might not be enough, and you need to take your warfare to the next level. It's not about escalating the conflict, but about ensuring your beautiful garden thrives. Commercial slug and snail baits are one of the most effective weapons in your arsenal. These usually come in granular form and are designed to attract these pests. Once consumed, the active ingredient in the bait disrupts their feeding, causing them to stop munching on your plants. Remember to scatter the bait around the affected areas of your garden and replenish as needed, especially after rainfall. Traps are another brilliant tool to add to your battle strategy. Slug and snail traps are typically filled with beer, as these garden invaders are attracted to its yeast content. The idea is simple but effective. The slugs or snails crawl into the trap, lured by the scent of beer, and then find themselves unable to get back out. Place these traps around your garden, particularly near your most vulnerable plants. For those who prefer a high-tech approach, electronic devices are available. Slug and snail electronic deterrents work by emitting a low-frequency vibration that these pests find unpleasant. These devices are usually solar-powered and easy to install. Just stick them into the ground and let them do their job. While these methods are more advanced, they are still easy to implement. The key is to be consistent and vigilant. Monitor your garden regularly, adjust your tactics as necessary, and don't give up. Remember, these methods are most effective when used in conjunction with natural deterrents and good gardening practices. It's not just about fighting the battle, but about creating an environment where slugs and snails are unwelcome from the get-go. With these advanced tactics, your garden will be a no-go zone for slugs and snails. After the battle is won, it's time to care for your garden and ensure it remains slug and snail free. Now, you've fought the good fight, you've used your natural deterrents and advanced tactics, and the enemy has retreated. Congratulations. But remember, maintaining the peace in your garden is an ongoing process. It's like being the king or queen of your own little kingdom. You've won the war, but now you need to rule wisely to avoid the return of those slimy invaders. First, let's talk about cleaning up the battlefield. Your garden is your fortress, and you need to keep it tidy to deter slugs and snails. They love to hide under dead leaves, fallen branches, and other garden debris. Cleaning these up not only makes your garden look neat, but also removes potential hiding spots for these pests. Watering practices are another crucial part of post-battle care. Slugs and snails are most active at night and during damp, rainy conditions. So, to discourage their activity, try watering your plants early in the day. This way, the garden soil has a chance to dry out before nightfall, making it less appealing to these moisture-loving creatures. Now, onto regular checks. Just like a vigilant monarch, you need to patrol your kingdom regularly. Keep a close eye on your plants, especially during the rainy season and at night. Look out for signs of slug and snail activity, such as the distinctive silvery trails they leave behind or any unusual damage to your plants. Don't forget to check under pots, behind garden furniture, and any other spots where slugs and snails might be hiding. If you spot any, well, it's time to gear up for another battle. Finally, remember to celebrate your victories. Take time to appreciate the thriving plants, the blooming flowers, and the buzzing life in your garden. After all, this is what you've been fighting for. With diligent care, your garden will not only survive the slug and snail invasion but thrive. This is not just a battle plan, this is a lifestyle. Dedicate yourself to it, and you will reap the rewards. So, there you have it, your comprehensive battle plan against slugs and snails. We've journeyed through the hidden battles in our gardens, unmasking the quiet yet devastating havoc these slimy invaders can wreak on your beloved plant life. We've gained a deeper understanding of our enemy. By learning their habits, preferences, and weaknesses, we've laid the groundwork for a strategic and successful counterattack. We've explored the world of natural deterrents, showing you how to turn your garden into a fortress with the help of Mother Nature. Simple measures like beer traps, copper barriers, and eggshells can create a slug and snail-free zone, all while keeping your garden safe for beneficial insects and pets. Then we delved into advanced battle tactics, where we armed ourselves with the latest in slug and snail combat technology. From iron phosphate baits to electronic slug fences, we've seen that there's a solution for every gardener, regardless of your garden's size or your level of infestation. Lastly, we addressed post-battle care, an often overlooked but crucial part of the process. We learned how repairing the damage, replenishing the soil, and maintaining a vigilant watch can ensure your victory is long-lasting. With this knowledge, you are now equipped to win the war against slugs and snails. Your garden will thank you for it.